Okay, so here we are. My place is kind of a mess. I'm cleaning. Whenever I clean, it gets much worse before it gets better. Have everything torn up, and my small little house, rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. I move something one place, and then I got to move it to the other place. Anyway, so that's that. Today is day 2 of a juice fast. I wanted to check in. It's been a long time since I checked in. A lot has happened on the diet and not exercise front. And let me just kind of sum it up. Basically, I stayed on the wheat belly diet, except that I added sugar. That's one thing I'm not willing to give up. It is a low glycemic diet, the actual wheat belly diet, but I love my sugar too well. I've got a cup of brisk English tea with sugar and lemon right here, raw sugar preferably. I'm almost out, so I've got some of that white granulated stuff. But it's just something I really like is a little sugar in my beverages, especially, and my little bit in my cookies too. My wheat belly cookies, which are very good, very satisfying, and different than regular cookies. I love my cookies too. Anyway, so let me get a little closer to the screen. So basically, I finished up my job about 8 days ago, and the last part of it was just very stressful. And I overate, felt sick a lot at night. Not really sick, but that full feeling. After it was done, I went in to meditate in the morning. I wanted to wear my rust-colored pants. They were my skinny pants. I really wanted to wear them for some reason with this top I have that kind of looks nice with them. And as I was going out of the house, the back split out of the pants. So that kind of sums it up. That's where I was at in terms of skinny versus weight gain. And I would say I weighed in at 135.6 at the top, and I'm still that on day 2 of my juice fast. So that means to me I was really headed up, because after 2 days of a juice fast, normally I would lose a pound at least. But that's where I topped out before I decided to do the juice fast. I have a little time to do it, a little opportunity. So and let's say I started out, let's say at 120 to 121 really at the bottom. And so that would be almost a 15-pound weight gain from the total bottom to the total top over 6 months. And my strategy, I'm always strategizing with weight, always strategizing. And my experience is that one really has to do that if you want any type of somewhat successful results that you're happy with, happy in your body. And my strategy was to really get to a low weight so that when I started my work project, which lasts about 3 months of intensive work where I know I have a weight gain, when I had that weight gain, I would still be in a reasonable area. And 135, let's call it that, was at one time for years and years and years a weight that I could never get to. It was my super dream weight. And that's my top weight now. So that's progress. That's serious progress in my world, my worldview. So now that I've finished the work and I have time to do the juice fast, I need, in my estimation, to lose 15 pounds. Okay. From my experience, if I do a 30 days of juicing, I will have a real weight loss of 15 pounds. I always, in my experience, if I juice for 10 days, I will have a real weight loss, permanent, let's call it quote unquote permanent weight loss, of a sustainable weight loss of half of that, which would be 5 pounds. So what I plan to do are 3 10-day juice fasts. This is the first one, day 2. And for me, I've probably done 170 days of juicing over time, 172 days. I mean, it's not exact, but a lot of juicing. Um, the long juice fasts, the most I ever did was 40 days. For me now, the most I want to do is a 10-day juice fast, because the longer juice fasts are somewhat arduous. I don't want to get to that point, which I always do with the longer juice fast, where in the last few days I am just totally dreaming about taking a bite of food. And I don't want to get myself to that point. I'm just not willing to do that. So 10 days of a juice fast, and then I'll schedule another 10 days in like a month and a half or something, and another 10 days and 20 days, or, and get it done probably in the next 2 months. And so it's now the beginning of, well, it's the end of January. So I'm thinking, end of March, I should be back at an ideal weight. That is good. I'm also back exercising. It snowed here today. There was a big storm. My car is snowed in. I have to go out and do that. And I didn't want to go out to the rec center. Now I have a treadmill here in this small little house. I do have a treadmill. I uncovered it with all the stuff that was on it. And uncovered it, got it plugged in, unplugged my internet as I was doing it, but I plugged that back in, and it all got done, wiped it down. I hadn't used it in a while. And I had a really nice walk run with a program. It's a really good treadmill. It has a program in there that I did for 30 minutes. Before that, I did some yoga on my mat. It's even hard to do yoga in this little house. But, and then afterwards, I did a HIIT, H-I-I-T. It's high intensive intermittent training, something like that, with a guy named the Body Coach. He's British. I love his little accent, and I fortunately he has a lot of videos, and I used to do a really kind of, for me, challenging one. I hit on a 20-minute, really low impact, like baby kind of a video, which is really what I needed. It wasn't anything that it wasn't onerous. I'll do it again tomorrow, perhaps. I find that if I do some exercise that's too challenging, I don't want to do it again. It's like too painful. And I'm going to put a link. I'm going to try to put a link below to that video and his YouTube channel, because I really like him. He's cute, and he's upbeat, and he says brilliant. He says, he'll give you he'll say that was brilliant. I just love that British turn of phrase. So anyway, so we can all be brilliant. And so that's it. I'm on day 2 of the juice fast. The wheat belly, I'm just going to say that even though I ate way too much sugar, I was able to gain the weight by eating all that sugar and too much of stuff, just eating way too much, not exercising. And I did gain weight on the wheat belly diet. I am still totally sold out to it. I don't know how quote unquote healthy it is. I used to believe that eating any fat clogs your arteries. I still kind of believe that. But one of the things I like so much about it is that the food is scrumptious. It is truly scrumptious. There's my phone. I'm going to ignore it. It'll ring for a while. Probably Gary, my boyfriend. Glad he's calling. Anyway, so I can make a tofu scramble that I really like. I can make a salad with an oil and vinegar dressing with walnuts. And what else do I put in there? Cherry tomatoes and peppers, roasted peppers, and Kalamata olives, and spices, and peppers, red and green. And what is the other thing I put in there? Something I put in there that's like walnuts. That's kind of crunchy. I don't quite remember right now, but it's way good. It's way good. And I have a banana, and I think I have almond milk and banana for breakfast. Tofu scramble. I have my salad to go to. I have my low fat, not low fat, high fat, high fat. I have my wheat belly cookies. I found a double chocolate with these chocolate chips in there, healthy chocolate chips. Whoops. healthy chocolate chips and chocolate, and oh, it's so good. Coconut oil. I put raw sugar. It calls for raw sugar, but it's not super sweet, and it's just they're just delightful with a cup of tea. Really good. And I also have hot chocolate, and that's where I was really falling down at the end. I was having hot chocolate, and they had this low sugar whipped cream at Walmart that I got. I was just ladling on the whipped cream, and whenever I start that, and I also bought whole, organic cream from our local dairy, a big, thing of it. I made cream of broccoli soup, which was so good. And when I hit the heavy cream, that's really hit it hard. That's when, the weight gain goes up and I start popping out of my pants. But that, hopefully the juice fast, this is my go-to tool to take the weight off. I can take off 5 pounds in 10 days. To me, there is no other way to do that short of, beginning to take amphetamines, And juicing really works for me. And I'm not hungry. I haven't even had any juice yet this morning. I woke up and I had a cup of coffee with no sugar, no cream. That's the main thing. I'm willing to do that. And then I had a cup of tea with this lemon and sugar. So I'm not having any creamer in my hot beverages, which is, because I really do want this to work. And the main thing with the juice fasting is when I cheat with the sugar and the tea, as long as I don't put any fiber in there, any cream, as long as I just keep it to the sugar, I will lose less, but it won't totally, put it off the rails. So that's it. I just wanted to check in really quickly because I'm starting out on this juice fast, and it's going to be 10 days, and hopefully I'll be able to check in on the juice fast with the results and perhaps my experience as I go forward. I'm juicing a lot of carrot juice, using all the vegetables I had, broccoli, and looking up, I have a recipe book from Joe Cross, 100 juice recipes. He had something with broccoli. I put some pineapple in there so to sweeten it up, and I love to juice. And juice fasting for me is not onerous. It's not difficult anymore. Around day 8, you get a little antsy, but it only makes you appreciate your food more when you go back to it. Unlike overeating and feeling stuffed, and there's something about feeling stuffed that makes me want to eat more. There's something going on there, and eating less makes me want to eat less, actually. So that's good. So here we go. I will check in as I go forward with this juice fast to lose weight from, not being really strict on the wheat belly diet, not really doing it properly.